Welcome to another edition of the Hgp Sportscast. I'm Sean Embrach. We begin with some golf news from the Lusignan Golf Course, East Coast. Avinash Prasad retains the Digicel Guyana Open Golf Championship title, and Chanella Webster is the new ladies champion. We have the details in this report. Defending champions and Day 2 leader Avinash Prasad staved off a contingent of more than 70 golfers, inclusive of his brother Arinder Kishore, to retain the Digicel Guyana Open Golf Classics, which ended on Sunday, November 1 at the Lusignan Golf Course on the east coast of Demerara. Starting Day 2 with a gross of 80 and a net of 75 playing off a 2 handicap, the reigning title holder recorded an inspiring 74 gross and a 72 net for a total gross of 154 to capture the crown. In the ladies' flight, Chanella Webster dethroned defending champion Joanne Dio to be crowned the new champion after an impressive second-day performance, playing off handicap 21, recorded gross 95 and net 74 on both days for a total net of 148. We spoke with Webster.
Very frustrating out there today. The course was very hard in the sense that the ground itself is hard. And it was a tough, very tough competition today. So I held on.
Joanne Dio took the second position with a net 150, while Christine Sukram with a net 73 finished on 151. 2013 champion runners-up Kishore, gross of 79 and a net of 76 played off a 3 handicap, ended the final day with a gross of 81 and a net 78 for a total gross of 160. Alfred Mentor occupied third place. He closed with a total gross of 161 following the 2 gross of 78 and a net of 71 playing off a 7 handicap. Digicel Chief Executive Officer Kevin Kelly said he was impressed.
The whole point of this is for sport and to develop sport in Guyana. If you've noticed that Digicel tries to sponsor, last week we were sponsoring cycling, this week it's golf. At some stage, hopefully we'll get a few Olympic medals for Guyana out of it, but we're going to keep trying to sponsor everything from soccer right through to cycling to squash to golf. I really appreciate the fact when we come here, people make us feel very welcome.
There were several other winners in the 10 to 18, senior and 19 to 28 flights for various other winnings who also received their prizes. We tell you now the court's Pee Wee Under 11 football enters a semi-final stage. Defending champs Stella Maris beaten in quarterfinals, which will see a new champion being crowned. More in this report. The 4th annual Courts Pee Wee Under 11 Football Championships concluded the quarterfinal rounds at Tourist Park Ground on Saturday, October 31 last. Enterprise, St. Angeles, West Rumvelt and St. Pius primaries will compete in the semifinals for a place in the final. One of the more favored teams in this year's competition, St. Angeles, defeated Tocqueville Primary 3-0 to advance and is in a strong position and expressed the will to continue their winning streak.
Score! I will win.
Coach Oscar Payne indicated that basic knowledge he passed on to the youngsters and they executed well so far.
The responsibility is what I learned from up front. I try to teach them and at least I get in the improvement for the 5 games.
Yeah, are you satisfied with the level they're at?
100%.
Okay, and what is your game plan or what you plan on telling them going into the semi-finals now?
Oh, well, same take, knock and pass and win the games.
Enterprise Primary sent defending champions Stella Maris packing when they won by a 3-1 scoreline. St. Pius defeated South Rumvelt and West Rumvelt edged out St. Margaret's to secure their spot in the semis. Petro Organization representative Mark Allen summed up the tournament and preludes the semifinals.
We are seeing a greater level of skills because remember these players now would have been, some of them would have played before, so now you see they're playing better than before. Yeah, well, so far we can say that the tournament has been running smoothly. We have a few hiccups and as we know we're heading into the semi-finals next week and so far everything is looking up.
Action continues on Saturday, November 7, 2015 at Tourist Park Ground. The Guyana Jaguars has announced a strong 30-man squad that will contest the defending champs' first match of the 2015-2016 PCL season on Friday, despite the non-inclusion of Pamal and Bissou. Here is Calvin.
In a rain-reduced match that featured 26 overs aside, West Nease batted first and finished with 159. Andre Russell's quick-fire 41 from 24 balls and Jason Holder's 36 from 13 lifted the West Nease to 159 for 8. a total that was slightly inflated by the Duckworth-Lewis equation. Before the rain came, Suranga Lakmal had reduced the West Indies to 29 for 3 with 5 disciplined overs. Tilakartne Dilshan scored his fastest half-century for Sri Lanka to give the home side a good start in their chase. With Sri Lanka cruising on 104 for 2, Narain exposed their middle order by dismissing numbers 5, 6 and 7 in the 19th over to bring the tailenders to the crease with 30 runs to get.
Oh yeah! Completely bewildered.
With 1 wicket, 1.1 overs remaining and 1 run to win, Ajanta Mendes hoiked makeshift bowler Johnson Charles for 6 runs.
Sri Lanka edged the West Indies by 1 wicket in the first of the 3-match ODI series despite Sunil Narain's 3-wicket over. More in this report.
The Jaguars are scheduled to play their first 3 matches at home. The first game will be against Windward Islands Volcanoes beginning Friday at the National Stadium. The 13-man squad for the first 4-day game includes 5 players that has represented West Indies at the senior level, despite the absence of the influential pair of Devendra Bishu, who is on tour in Sri Lanka, and Veerasamy Permaul, who has sustained an ankle injury. West Indies on a 19-player Gudakesh Moti is the only spinner in the side, and this is an excellent opportunity for the young bowler. The squad reads Asad Fuddin, Rajendra Chandrika, Leon Johnson captain, Vishal Singh vice-captain, Shivnarain Chandrapal, Christopher Barnwell, Raymond Reefer, Anthony Bramble, Stephen Jacobs, Gudakesh Moti, Shimron Hetimaya, Keon Joseph, and Ronsford Beaton. The coach is Eson Crandon, the manager-assistant coach is Rayon Griffith, and the physio is Beverly Nelson. The player pool of the champions Guyana have been in continuous training for months, and a highly competitive performance is not only expected in this match, but the entire tournament.
And that concludes our sportscast. Now for a look at your weather forecast.